I'm really happy to finally be bringing you guys this video. I think it's way more in line with my initial vision for what I wanted this channel to be. I like to think that I look young for my age, but the truth is I'm now in my late 30s and I guess I've been living life as an adult for a while now. So in all of that living, I like to think that I've learned a thing or two, because there were definitely a few things that I hadn't figured out back in my early 20s. So I put together this list. This is the top 10 things that I wish I had known when I was 20. Number 10, set goals and accomplish them. So in my late teenage years and my early 20s, I became very interested in spirituality, and there's no doubt that that has been something that has stayed with me for my entire life. But back in those early days, I was probably a little bit even easier to dupe than I am now. I'm not going to say that I'm not a little gullible. We all have our things to work on, guys. Anyway, back in my late teenage years and my early 20s, I really got into a lot of New Age dogma and a lot of sort of wishy-washy ideas. One thing that seemed very common to a lot of the New Age ideas and philosophies that I was exploring was the idea that if you put good vibes and good energy out into the universe, that somehow things would just magically turn out for the better. So a lot of these philosophies didn't rely much on planning or finding ways of actually getting stuff done. They were more based on the idea that if you wished really hard or you visualized really hard, you would get the thing that you want. So I kind of bought into that. That is totally not how things work. It's just not. It's nice to have faith. It's nice to, send as many hopes and prayers as you please. But that honestly is just not going to take you there if you're not doing the work yourself. Number 9, you are currently living in your good old days. So I mentioned that I was in my late 30s, but I still don't feel like an old person, and I don't think that anybody who's my age should feel like an old person, although I think marketing and society are trying to do a damn good job of making us feel that way. There's also like your healing abilities. So if you engage in sports or athletic training right now, your body is just going to bounce back so fast. I'm not saying that mine doesn't heal, but I am saying that probably it doesn't heal as quickly as it would have if I was doing the same kind of training when I was 22 or 23 years old. Number 8. You should start lifting weights. My mom started lifting weights, my sister started lifting weights, and I started lifting weights, and that all sort of happened around the same time. It seems like all of us really enjoy it. My mom in particular has gone on to become a power lifter, and she's done really well with it. She's actually internationally ranked, if you can believe that. Like, she's a machine. My sister has been a physique and fitness and bikini competitor, so she knows how to put on muscle. But honestly, lifting weights changed how I felt about my body. Up until that point, I was always frustrated because I felt like I was never thin enough and I could never lose the body weight in the lower half of my body that I wished I could lose. Usually I find a good weightlifting session leaves me feeling really empowered, and it's pretty hard to feel down on yourself when you feel like you've just been lifting lots of weights and you've just, challenged your body and stuff. It's been really good for my self-esteem, and I think that probably a lot of younger females could look at that as an option, as something to explore. I really wish that weightlifting had been mentioned to me when I was younger, because I thought that I sucked at gym class and that fitness just wasn't for me. Number 7, cats are actually pretty great. Let me show you Waffles. Waffles was my gateway cat. She was the first cat that I really bonded with, who allowed me to sort of know that cats are actually kind of awesome. And it's sort of ironic because Waffles definitely has a few issues. This is Waffles, and she's super fluffy and awesome. Psst, psst. Waffles. Waffy. Waffles. I did not name her Waffles. She came to me pre-named. Oh, and she's trying to snuggle me now. Oh, there we go. Oh, little savage. Number 6, don't push through pain. Okay, so I like working out, and I used to work out pretty hardcore and lift a lot of weights and stuff, and do a lot of like plyometric exercises. So at one point I know that I was trying to get in my cardio, get in like explosive plyometric exercises and get in weight work, and On top of all that, at one point I was also delivering mail, so I was a very tired person. I also pushed through a lot of pain, and I didn't understand or know for a long time that I had degenerative issues in my back. For a long time, I did not go to see what was wrong, and I probably did more damage than I had to by putting my body through more than it was really able to deal with the belief that I was just being weak or being a pansy or just, complaining too much or just had like muscle tightness. Basically, I didn't give myself any excuses, and if I had my time back, I would have done a better job of listening to my body. Number 5, no partner is worth abuse. Okay, so these are getting pretty heavy. I've been pretty lucky, and most of my partners have been nothing but respectful and kind and understanding, and even a couple of them that I don't have friendships with anymore, they're still really decent people, and I still respect them as people. However, on a couple of occasions, I have been involved with a person who hasn't treated me kindly or has sometimes treated me kindly and sometimes treated me very unkindly. No person is worth being called names. No person is worth being told that you're stupid for. Yeah, you really have to put yourself first, and you really have to believe in yourself enough to know that these little verbal assaults they're abuse and they're not okay, and they do horrible things to your self-esteem. Again, I've been really fortunate. Most of my experiences have been not plentiful, which is, I guess, the best thing you can say about that sort of thing. You can't change them. They can only change if they want to change themselves. You just have to take care of yourself. Number 4, about 95% of having it, whatever that is confidence. So I love number 4, and I think we need a palate cleanser now, so let's go there. I think it's really cool that sometimes the most striking, the most beautiful, the most amazing people, when they walk into a room, when they captivate you, it's not because of what they're wearing. It's not because they have the best or the most expensive on. It's something about them. It's something about their confidence. But it's something that I never really fully understood or didn't understand for a really long time. When I was younger, I really sort of believed that, with the right makeup and the right hair and the right outfit, I don't know, that I could be greater than I was somehow. That's not true, unfortunately. It all comes from within, and some of the most beautiful people, they don't have the most symmetrical faces or the most perfect bodies. And I know that that's counterintuitive, but I really believe that. Sometimes the most beautiful people are the more interesting people. People really like confident people, and ultimately I think we're all kind of attracted to that. Number 3, friendship takes dedication, time, and effort. This one has not been a pleasant one for me to learn, really deeply learn and understand. I have not in the past been a good friend. Life for me gets busy, I get scattered, and I know that I have a tendency to not pay attention to people who are actually really, really, really important to me, and to just kind of assume that they're always going to be there. It's something that I'm trying to work on, but for me, I literally have to try to carve out space in my schedule to try to connect with other humans. If all of my friends showed up here right now at my house, unannounced, I would be thrilled. I would love to see them. But a lot of the time, I'm terrible at making plans, I'm terrible at responding to messages, and I'm terrible at just making the time that is required to be a good friend. Well, I've definitely drifted from people. I've definitely not been there for people when they kind of needed me. It's still something I'm working on, honestly. Number 2, take control of your finances. I wasn't that smart about money when I was younger. I definitely could have made some better decisions. I could have done some better planning. So don't be like me. Don't make the same mistakes that I did. Get into budgeting if you're not already. Get an app or some kind of a fun program if that makes a difference for you and it makes it more enticing. And get used to recording what you spend, keeping track of your spending, and getting to know what you really have in your bank account and where it's going. Because as soon as I started budgeting, it was really helpful to realize where I was spending money, where I was wasting money, and where I could conceivably cut back. It's definitely good when you first get paid to look at your budget and realize where that money needs to go, and as soon as you get paid, to pay the bills that you need to pay right away. So take as much control of your finances as you can. Being honest with your partner, definitely is a first step. If your partner's good with finances, mine is, thank God. Talk to them and get their advice and be honest about your situation. If they're not the right person to talk to, maybe you can talk to a parent. Don't bury your head in the sand. Don't ignore your financial problems because they do not go away that way. Number one, and definitely my favorite on this list, so that's why it's number one, is that you get to get smarter. Hopefully this lasts forever. I'm sure eventually there's a decline or a peak or something, but I was always under the impression that I was only going to get so smart. And I don't think that's true at all anymore. I do think that I'm continuously making new connections in my brain. I'm learning tons of new stuff, and I'm able to relate information that I didn't see relationships with before. I've become a more intelligent person, I think, a more intellectual person, definitely a more interesting person, and I just absolutely love the fact that that's possible. And that to me has been probably one of the best things about gaining age and years. Hopefully you were able to take something from this video, even if it's the fact that you are young and beautiful right now and you should totally celebrate it. I'm happy that you were able to join me, make the plans, dream big, and get out there and get it done for yourself. No guru is gonna do it for you, and the universe is not gonna give you exactly what you want. You have to go and get it all by yourself. So thanks guys, thanks for watching. Happy 2019, and I will be talking to you soon.